Okonomiyaki is a favorite bar food in Japan. Literally means grilled or cooked as you like it. Hi, my name is Elena Yamamoto, and today we're gonna be making okonomiyaki. Your base recipe is basically cabbage, scallions, and then kind of like a pancake batter. And this little thing called nagaimo. And then you can just sub in all sorts of other things as you like it. We're gonna start by cutting up our vegetables. My aunt always tells me it's better to have pieces be like a little bit on the bigger end because it makes for a better mouthfeel. So this is like a really great dish to do also if you aren't feeling super confident with your knife skills. Next, we're gonna grate the nagaimo. Nagaimo is a kind of potato. You can find it in your Asian grocery store, and it's very, very slimy. So if you cannot find nagaimo, you can replace it with baking soda. I have this little tool that is basically like a grater without holes, like it's just got the points on it. You probably don't have this, that's fine. You can use a microplane, you can use a cheese grater. Some people can be a little bit sensitive to it, like on their skin. So if you tend to be a sensitive person, wear gloves. It doesn't bother me, but everyone's different. So I'm just gonna peel a little section. We need like about 1/3 of a cup. You're kind of like breaking all of the cell structure in here. That texture is called neba neba. That like lifting lightning effect is what we're really going for. I love this. Next, cabbage. I'm just gonna take a little section off. I think cabbage is like one of the most fun things to cut. You can just cut it kind of like in shorter sections. So basically we're looking for about like 1 centimeter square. You want like that interesting mouthfeel. We're gonna need like a few cups of this. So that's basically all the veg you need for the base. For the pancake batter, you're gonna be looking for a texture that's very similar to like your basic breakfast pancake. Add the flour. You're taking about 2 cups-ish. 4 eggs. Your nagaimo is gonna go in here too. That's like the most satisfying little like slurp that happens. And then we have 2 cups of dashi here, and you want the dashi to be cold to start. Add this in here and kind of like get it loose. Don't add everything all at once, kind of like adjust as you go. If there's chunks, it's like not a huge deal. You can just use a regular whisk. That nagaimo texture is making it a little bit slimy and stringy, which is great. That looks pretty good to me. Another element to the filling that adds a little texture, you can usually buy in an Asian grocery store something called tenkasu. These little pieces of tempura batter, it just adds kind of like a little more body. If you don't have tenkasu, use potato chips. Basically anything that has that kind of like crunch, starch, and oil. Just mix that in. So cabbage, scallions. I like a lot of scallions. If you're not an onion person, put in less. It's gonna be really hard to screw this one up. Like, that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna add some gari in. If you have pickled ginger that you've made, cut it up and throw it in. It just adds like a little nice extra flavor. So this should be what your base looks like. Like everything is pretty evenly coated. It's kind of a little bit sticky. And that is your base. We're going on medium to low heat. A couple tablespoons of oil. You kind of cook it low and slow. When you go to an okonomiyaki shop in Tokyo, there's an endless amount of things that you could fill it with. Per pancake, you want 1 to 3 toppings maximum. And then there's kind of an art to how you layer it. So let's get started. We're gonna take about a ladle, maybe a little bit less. Right now is when we can start layering our ingredients. I'm just gonna do a little cheese. And then I'm just gonna layer the pork on top. Often in American kitchens, you can't find pork that's cut really, really thin. If you can't find that, use bacon. So like, that's a good color. You can go this color or darker. A going away dinner that I had in Tokyo when I was like moving back to the States. My friends and I, we went to this izakaya. They had pre-ordered a special going away okonomiyaki where they drew in mayonnaise like, we'll miss you. Write a note to your loved ones on your okonomiyaki. So that's a great color. It's the pretty side. So you can see the cheese is kind of melting out. I'm totally cool with that because it's gonna get crispy. You want springy, not squishy. Beautiful. So it's like extra crispy, extra delicious. So for topping, buy okonomiyaki sauce. It's in the Asian grocery store. You can buy it online if you don't have it. You can kind of just do like back and forth. You want enough so you're getting it in every bite. It's just like a little bit sweeter. Same with the Kewpie mayo. I think Kewpie is best to use versus American mayo because it's a little bit looser. It's got a little bit more vinegar, a little bit more egg. It's definitely prettier when you drizzle. And then we're doing a little aonori. Aonori is a kind of seaweed, like a little oceany flavor that you're adding. Gets stuck in your teeth when you're with a date, it's great. And then bonito flakes. That's like a nice little ocean flavor. Also, not the cutest, but it tastes really good. So, and that's okonomiyaki. Let's try it out. That's great. Such like a nostalgic flavor. Because we did like kind of like bigger pieces of cabbage, you can definitely still taste that. It's not cooking like a super, super long time on high heat, so you're not losing any of the body. It's not becoming mushy cabbage. It should still have like a little bit of bite. The bounce of the batter, I'm getting some ginger, and then the pork and the cheese is really crispy on the bottom and like sweet and creamy on top. I mean, it's like everything that you could want in a bite, I think. The search is always for the perfect bite, right? This might be it. For the recipe, click the link below. Have fun cooking okonomiyaki. When I do dinner parties, this was a great thing to do because we got like a tabletop griddle. I taught people how to do 1 or 2 and then just like let people cook for themselves. That's the best way to party, I think.